Hello students, how are you all? Enjoy? Yeah, I'm back, your science teacher from Mount Litra Z School, Rampura Full. So what we were doing? We were discussing the chapter Newton's laws of motion. Okay, force and laws of motion. So in that we have done about force, Newton's law of motion. What were the Newton's law of motion we have discussed? About first Newton's law of motion and second Newton's law of motion, right? So today what we are going to discuss, we are going to see the mathematical formulation of Newton's second law of motion and how we can derive the first law of motion, or how we can prove the first law of motion with the help of second law of motion. That we are going to see today. So let's start the topic. This is the mathematical formulation of second law of motion. Okay, so first we will derive the second law of motion. So let's understand what we have considered here. We considered that there is an object of mass m and its initial velocity is u. When we applied a constant force, it will move with a uniform velocity v. It gets accelerated with some velocity v in time t. Alright. Now what about momentum? Momentum we have discussed that momentum is denoted by p and it is the product of mass and velocity. Alright. So what will be the momentum initially and after attaining the velocity v? Initially the momentum will be mu. Why mu? Because momentum is m multiplied by v and initial velocity we have taken here is u. That's why initial momentum is mu and the final momentum is mv, or we can take it as pi or pf. Initial momentum and initial momentum and final momentum. Alright. Now let's see the change in momentum. The change in momentum will be final momentum minus initial momentum. Final momentum is P2 and initial momentum is P1. So the change in momentum will be P2 minus P1. So P2 is mv and P1 is mu. When you take out m as common, what is left? V minus u. Alright. Now according to second law of motion, what we have discussed in Newton's second law of motion, that force is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. Okay, rate of change of momentum means momentum divided by t. Rate of change of momentum means momentum divided by t. Alright. So momentum, what we have, the change in momentum, what we have find out, mv minus u. Okay, force is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. Change of momentum divided by t. Alright, rate means divided by t. So what is change in momentum? mv minus u. So we have written here mv minus u. Alright, divided by t. Now when we remove the proportionality sign, what we put? We put is equal to with a constant. This constant is known as constant of proportionality. Why? Because it comes due to the proportionality sign. That's why this constant is known as constant of proportionality. Alright. Now in previous chapter we have discussed that acceleration is change in velocity. Change in velocity means v minus u divided by t. This was the acceleration that we have discussed in previous chapter. Alright. So at the place of v minus u, what we will put? We will put a. Alright. So here a is acceleration and k is the constant of proportionality as I explained. Now what are the units of mass? The unit of mass is kg. The unit of acceleration is, the unit of mass is kg. The unit of acceleration is meter per second square. Okay, the basic SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square. Now the unit of force will depend on the unit of k. How we find out the unit of force? By multiplying the units of these three quantities. Alright. So we know the unit of mass, we know the unit of acceleration, but we don't know the unit of k. So we will find out first the value of k. How we will find out value of k? By finding the unit force. We will keep force as 1, mass as 1 and acceleration as 1. So what will be the value of k? The value of k will be 1. Okay, so in unit force the value of k will be 1. So if the value of k is 1, then what will be the unit of force is kilogram meter per second square. The unit of force will be kilogram meter per second square, and this is Newton. So what will be the unit of force is Newton, SI unit, and CGS unit dyne. Alright, that we have discussed in previous chapter, or in this chapter in the part of force. Alright, so this is the part of after derivation what I explained. Okay, that the unit of force depends on the k, and how we will find the value of k? By putting the 1 unit force. Okay, so what is 1 unit force? Amount that produces an acceleration of 1 meter per second square in an object of 1 kg mass. Okay, in 1 kg mass, when acceleration will be 1 meter per second square, at that time the force is 1 unit force. So what will be the value of k? Value of k will be 1. And what we will get then? F is equal to ma. Now the unit of force is Newton or kilogram meter per second square. We denote Newton by N, or its CGS unit will be dyne, D. Okay. Now what is the use of second law of motion? What is the use of this equation? It gives us the method to measure the force acting on an object. Okay, the force acting on an object, initially what I suppose that there is an object of mass m. When we applied a force, it gains an acceleration, right? It gains an acceleration. So here, with the help of Newton's second law of motion, what we find? We find the value of F, that how much force we should apply, or how much force we have applied, so that we will get this acceleration A in mass m. Alright, this is the use of second law of motion. Now we will see how to derive first law of motion from second law of motion, or with the help of second law of motion. Now here it is, proof of first law of motion with the help of second law of motion. Alright, according to second law of motion, firstly we will write what is the second law of motion. The second law of motion is F is equal to ma, that F is equal to the product of mass and acceleration. This is our second law of motion, right? And acceleration we have studied in previous chapter, that A is equal to v minus u upon t. That means rate of change of velocity is acceleration. Alright, now I have transferred t here with the F. Alright, now there are two conditions. First condition is, what was our Newton's first law of motion? First law of motion is, if there will be no force, then the body will remain in rest or the body will remain in motion. Okay, when there is no force means force will be 0. So when force is 0, force 0 हो जाएगा, तो this quantity will be 0 and m will be 0. So what is left? V minus u is equal to 0 and v is equal to u we will get. Alright, what we will get? V is equal to u. So when v is equal to u, what does that mean? That means the initial velocity of object and the final velocity of object are same. That means an object is moving with a constant velocity forever. Its velocity is not changing and it is moving forever. Alright. Now, if we take u as 0, then v also will be 0. Okay. that means initial velocity is 0, that means the object is at rest. Okay, so if there will be no force, then object will be at rest forever. It will never change its position. Okay, so if F is equal to 0, then what we will get? V is equal to U. This means that the object will continue moving with uniform velocity U throughout the time t. Okay, it will move with its constant velocity. If U is 0, then V also will be 0. If U is 0, then V also will be 0. That is, the object will remain at rest. 0 means U is equal to 0 means that the object is at rest. So about these two statements prove that first law of motion from second law of motion. With the help of second law of motion, we have proved the first law of motion by putting F is equal to 0. Alright. So hope you all have understood these two parts very well. Now if there is any doubt, you can ask. So what is the next topic? What we are going to next? We are going to discuss some numericals based on second law of motion. Alright. So next is numericals on Newton's second law of motion. What is Newton's second law of motion? Is F is equal to ma. Alright, or sometimes we will write A as V minus U divided by T. Alright, so in numericals, I explained you these 4 steps. What are the 4 steps? That first you have to draw the diagram after reading the question. Then you have to write what is given to you. Then what you need to find out. And lastly, you will decide the formula. What formula you need to solve the question. Alright. So let's start with the numerical. Numerical number 1. Our first question is, a constant force acts on an object of mass 5 kg. Mass 5 kg. For a duration of 2 seconds. That means time is 2 seconds. Force acted for 2 seconds. It increases the object's velocity from 3 seconds to 7 meters per second. Velocity increases from 3 seconds to 7. That means it is its initial velocity and it is final velocity. Find the magnitude of the applied force. What? Magnitude of force. Now if the force was applied for a duration of 5 seconds, what is next? After finding the magnitude of force, what you need to find out, if the force was applied, if the same force was applied for a duration of 5 seconds, what will be the final velocity? Okay. Firstly, the force was the force of 2 seconds. And in last, the force becomes for 5 seconds. Then what will be the final velocity? For 2 seconds, the final velocity is 7 meters per second. But for 5 seconds, what will be the final velocity? That you need to find out. What is the first step? To draw the diagram. What is the diagram? Here is an object of 5 kg. Okay. Its initial velocity is 3 meters per second. It was moving with the 3 meters per second. And after applying force, its velocity becomes 7 meters per second. For just 2 seconds. The force was applied for 2 seconds. That means time is equal to 2 seconds. Alright, what we need to find out? We need to find out the force. Given means M is given, U is given, V is given and T is given. What you need to find out? F. 3 steps are completed. First step, diagram. Second step, what is given. Third step, what you need to find out. Now the fourth step, find out what formula you need to use. Okay. So, according to Newton's second law of motion, F is equal to ma. But we don't know the A. What is A? A is not given here. So, what we will do, we will convert the formula. At the place of A, what we will write? V minus U divided by T. Okay. Now, what is the value of m? Is 5. What is the value of V? Is 7. U is 3. And T is 2. Okay. So 5, 7 minus 3 is 4 divided by 2. 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4, 5 2s are 10. All right. So what is the force? Force is 10 Newton. All right. Now, this was our first part. First part, we successfully find it out. Now what about second part? Second part is what will be the final velocity of the object. Okay, if the time becomes 5 seconds, from 2 seconds the time increases to 5 seconds, then what will be the final velocity? So we have F now. We will use the same formula because we need to find final velocity. All right. So we will use the same formula. F is equal to m v minus u divided by t. What is F? F is 10. M is 5. V we need to find out. U we know. U is 3. Same. Time increases to 5 seconds. Okay. Now, this 5 will be divided by this 5. So 10 is equal to v minus 3. V is equal to 10 plus 3. 3 will be transferred here. Here it is negative 3. That when we will transfer it here, it will become 10 plus 3. Now what is 13 meter per second will be the final velocity. This was the solution of this question. Hope you all have understood it very well because it's too easy. If you remember the 4 steps, then it will be easy for you. This is its final solution. Okay, so try to solve it by yourselves. All right, so let's go to the second numerical. This is our second numerical. What is second numerical? Which would require a greater force, accelerating a 2 kg mass at 5 meter per second square or a 4 kg mass at 2 meter per second square. Okay, see, there are two masses given. One is of 2 kg and second is of 4 kg. All right, it is accelerated to 5 meter per second square and it is accelerated to 2 meter per second square. Now, which body require more force? That we need to find out. Okay, so first step is completed. We have drawn the diagram. What is the second step? Given that. What is given? M1 2 kg, A1 5 meter per second square, M2 4 kg, A2 2 meter per second square. All right, this is given. Second step completed. Third step, what you need to find out? Force, F1 and F2, and then we need to compare which force is greater. Okay, so we have ma, we need to find out F. So which formula we will use? Newton's second law of motion, that is F is equal to ma for both. Okay, so what we need to do? We just need to put the values for object 1. Okay, for object 1, F1, M1 is 2, A1 is 5, 10 Newton. Okay, now F2. F2 is M2 and A2. That means 8 Newton. Okay, so F1 is 10 Newton and F2 is 8 Newton. Which force is larger? Which force is greater? 10 Newton is greater. That means 2 kg mass needs more force to move the body 5 meter per second square, to get it accelerated with 5 meter per second square. Okay, so object number 1 would require a greater force. This is its final result, final solution. Okay, so hope you all have understood these two numericals very well. If you have any doubt, you can ask and try to solve it by yourself. Okay, now this is our third question. Okay, what it is written here? A motor car is moving with a velocity of 108 km per hour and it takes 4 seconds to stop after the brakes are applied. Okay, A motor car is moving with a velocity. Okay, so it has a initial velocity. It is already moving with a velocity. That means it is its initial velocity. And it takes 4 seconds. That means when the force is applied, after 4 seconds, t is 4 seconds. After applying the brakes apply होने के बाद क्या होता है, हमारी जो मोटर कार है that will stop. If it will stop, then its final velocity will be 0. Okay, because it came at rest. Now calculate the force exerted by the brakes on the motor car if its mass along with the passengers is 1000 kg. So what we need to calculate is force, and what is the mass of the motor car with the passengers is 1000 kg. Alright, first step is diagram. Suppose this is a motor car, alright, of 1000 kg. It is moving with a velocity of 108 km per hour. Its unit is kilometer per hour. Okay, it is its initial. What should be the unit? Meter per second. It should not be kilometer per hour while solving the numerical. Okay, and after applying brakes it stopped. V is equal to 0 it become. After which time t is equal to 4 seconds. After 4 seconds. Alright. So first step completed. Our diagram completed. Now what's the second step? What is given to us? What is given to us? M, mass, U, V and T is given to us. Third step, what we need to find out? We need to find out the force. Alright. With which force the brakes are applied. Alright. Now, if we have F, if we need to find out F, we have M, U, V and T. Which is the formula we should use? Now, you should write the formula directly. What is the formula? F is equal to M, V minus U divided by T. Alright. So, first, what we need to do? We need to convert this unit. Okay. So, after converting this to meter per second, how we will convert? We will convert like this. 108 kilometer into meter will be 1000. And hour into second will be 60 multiplied by 60. So, what we will get? Calculate it fast. What we will get? We will get 30 meter per second. Okay. So, this is the Newton's second law of motion. M is 1000. V is 0. Okay. U is 30. And divided by T is 4. This what we have done, we have put the values of all the quantities. After solving this, we will get the answer, we will get the force. Alright. So, hope you all have understood this numerical also. Here is the final solution. Okay. So, the answer will be in negative. Why negative? Because to stop a vehicle, if vehicle is moving, to stop a vehicle, an opposite force is applied. Okay. जिस स्पीड के साथ वो मूव कर रहा है उसी स्पीड के साथ अगर हम ऑपोजिट फोर्स अप्लाई करेंगे तो वो जाकर स्टॉप हो जाएगा. ऑलराइट. सो कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट मूव कर रहा है उसे स्टॉप करने के लिए हमें फोर्स कहाँ लगाना पड़ता है? ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में. दैट्स वाई द आंसर इज इन नेगेटिव साइन. ऑलराइट. सो फोर्स अप्लाइड इज इन opposite direction to the motion of motor car. Okay. So let's move to the next numerical. So this is our fourth numerical, but this numerical is homework for you. If you didn't get the answer of this numerical, then let me know in the comment section. I will explain it for you. Okay. But this time this is for homework. Alright, let's move to the next numerical. This is your question number 5. Here is the velocity time graph which we have discussed in the previous chapter. Okay, we have discussed about velocity time graph. Okay, so here you can see in the graph that an object is moving with a decreasing path. That means velocity time graph what gives us? It gives us acceleration. And if the graph is in opposite direction, that means it is deceleration. Okay. Now what is given here? A ball of mass 20 gram. Okay. A ball of mass 20 gram. Moving along a straight line on a long table. There is a table. Okay. Golf. Sorry, not golf. That pool we play. So here is a ball and a man standing here applied his stick. Okay, this ball is of 20 gram and it moved in a straight line along a long table, right? So from graph what information we get? That at velocity it is 20, that means, and it is decreasing, that means it is already in motion and its motion is decreasing. That means 20 will be its initial velocity, and after traveling some time it stops, it comes at 0. Okay, that means 0 will be its final velocity. And after what time? After 10 seconds. This is the time, that means after 10 seconds. So t is equal to 10 seconds. Okay, so this was our first step, diagram we have drawn. Second step, what is given to us? M is given, U is given, V is given, and T is given. Now the third step, what we need to find out? We need to find out the force. How much force does the table exert on the ball to bring it to rest? After traveling, it will stop after some time. Why? Because table is applying a friction force to the ball. Okay, in opposite direction. That's why it will stop after some time. How much force? Force we need to find out. This is our third step. Fourth step, what is the formula we will use? Now F we need to find out, M we have, V, U, T we have. So now it is obvious that you should know the formula. Formula is F is equal to M V minus U divided by T. This will be the formula. Now put all these quantities at the place of these, means M is 20, V is 0, U is 20 and the time is 10. But the unit of velocity is, initial velocity is centimeter per second. So you have to convert it in meter per second. Okay, first, then you will solve. So hope now you will solve this question and you will get the answer. Alright. So this is your homework that you have to solve it further. My work is done up to here. Alright. So here is the solution of this question. Here also we got the answer in negative. Why? Because the force applied to stop it is in opposite direction of the motion. The motion is here, but a frictional force is applied in the opposite direction. That's why the answer is in negative. Okay. So now some questions are here for you to solve, that are for homework. Okay. So this is the last part of previous question, question number 5. And now these are the questions. These questions are homework for you. These 3 questions are homework for you. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Please solve it. Try to solve it. If you get any problem, I will solve for you. Okay. This is your homework. So till my next video, take care. We will meet in next video. Alright. So bye bye. Take care.